Hi everyone, this is Keisei with Dondoko Taiko. In late 2018, fellow Taiko member Corey and I began planning a trip to Japan for Dondoko Taiko. This would be a 10-day, 9-city itinerary. We planned extensively for this trip, which would have taken place in August of 2021. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to take the trip yet, but I didn't want all of this information to go to waste, so we will be sharing all of our information in a video series titled Explore Japan with Us. The information will be based on our planned trip, but should still be very informative for anyone planning a trip to Japan. I hope you enjoy the information and a look into the planning process. Hopefully, we will all be able to use this information soon when travel to Japan resumes. Welcome to episode 2 of the Explore Japan with Us series. This installment covers the pre-departure activities geared towards our 10-day itinerary, which includes the cities of Tokyo, Nagaoka, Ogi on Sado Island, Kanazawa, Kyoto, Hiroshima and Miyajima, Nara and Uji, and a quick stop near Mount Fuji. Before you even depart for Japan, there are some decisions and pre-purchases that you can make that will make your trip go more smoothly. You should create deadlines for this trip as many items can be purchased ahead of time. We will cover some of these items here so that you have the knowledge to make decisions for yourself. We will not be discussing everything in detail here, as some of these items were covered in more detail in part 1 of this series, Preparing for Japan. And of course, you can find more information and links to the itinerary in the description box below. First off, let's discuss items that you can pre-purchase for the trip. Let's start with our modes of transportation. Obviously, you'll be flying to Japan, and you will probably use Japan Airlines or American Airlines for your carrier, as they have direct flights to Tokyo from DFW, which means the least amount of travel time. No matter which carrier you choose, always look carefully at the dates and times when choosing your tickets. If you choose something other than nonstop, make sure you check your layover time. Anything less than 2 hours may not be doable if you have to switch planes. Also, look out for the little +1 next to your arrival time. A +1 is normal for Japan because of the time change, but a +2 or more means you will probably be spending the night in another city and have one less day in Japan. According to cheapair.com, the best time to purchase your international tickets to Asia is about 314 days prior to travel. The full Cheap Air article is linked in the description box below. Once in Japan, you will need an inexpensive way to get around. The Japan Rail Pass is only available to visitors to Japan, and it allows you to use a large majority of trains, some buses, and a ferry without an additional cost. If you are interested in a savings comparison for the trip, there is a link in the itinerary. Because we are planning for a 10-day trip, and the JR Pass only comes in 7-day, 14-day, or 21-day, we have elected to get the 7-day pass. Since on our planned 10-day trip, we will only be using the trains once in our first 3 days of the trip. In our case, we would still be saving some money on train fares even if we chose the 14-day pass, just not as much money. The moral of this story is to do a comparison for yourself and see which JR Pass is right for you, or if you even need a JR Pass. You can pre-purchase your JR Pass starting at 6 months before travel. There are 2 different ways to pre-purchase your JR Pass. You can purchase it directly from the Japan Rail Pass website, or you can purchase it from a local designated sales office or agent. There is approximately a $30 difference between purchasing directly or through an agent. Purchasing directly is the more expensive route, but there are some perks for the direct purchase. When purchasing direct, all of your transactions can be made through the website. You can make your reservations online, and you will receive confirmations online. When you purchase through a local agent, you will be mailed an exchange ticket, and you will take that physical exchange order to a Japan Rail office in Japan to receive your JR Pass. The online reservation system is not available for those that purchase through an agent. If you choose to save the $30 and purchase your JR Pass through a local agent, make sure that you order your pass as soon as possible so the exchange order will have time to make it to you in the mail. We have put a link for the JR Pass website in the description box below. To get from Narita Airport to Tokyo, we will be using the Keisei Skyliner. The Keisei Skyliner is the fastest way to get to Tokyo from Narita Airport, clocking in at about 41 minutes. Keisei offers a discount if you pre-purchase your Keisei Skyliner ticket and pair it with a Tokyo Subway Pass. We will be using the Tokyo Subway Pass at the end of our trip when we return to Tokyo. Purchasing your Keisei Skyliner tickets online will get you a discount whether you add the Tokyo Subway Pass or not. The Keisei Skyliner tickets can be purchased 30 days in advance and have a similar process for pickup as the JR Pass. A link to the Keisei Railway website is in the description box below. For those that might rather buy the longer 14-day JR Pass, there is a JR line that runs from Narita Airport to Tokyo. The second quickest train into Tokyo from Narita Airport is the Narita Express, clocking in at 53 minutes. The Narita Express is included on the JR Pass. So if you choose to purchase the longer duration for your JR Pass, I would use the Narita Express instead of the Keisei Skyliner to get the most out of your JR Pass. This trip to Japan, we have decided to take our Taiko experience to a whole new level by visiting Sado Island and having a Taiko experience for those that are interested. We will need to purchase ferry tickets to get to and from Sado Island. The Sado Kisen ferry takes travelers from either Niigata or Naoetsu to Sado Island. Since we are going to the Sado Island Taiko Center, we will use the Naoetsu to Ogi Port route. There are a limited number of times and ferries per day, so you will want to book these tickets in advance. You can start booking your Sado Kisen ferry tickets about 3 months out. A link is provided in the description box below. Our last transportation ticket to be pre-purchased is for Miyajima. We will need to purchase the Miyajima Ropeway ticket to get up Mount Misen. The Miyajima Ropeway allows you to ride to the top of Mount Misen. We plan to hike back down, but you can also get round-trip tickets. Pre-purchasing a ticket is not always necessary, and there is no discount for pre-purchase. You can start pre-purchasing your tickets 3 months out, or you can wait and purchase your ticket when you arrive. IC cards, like the Suica card, can be used at the Upward station to purchase a ticket. If you check the Miyajima Ropeway website, they mark dates for which reservations are recommended. See the link in the description box below. Next, let's discuss communications in Japan and making reservations for some optional attractions. Having a reliable phone or Wi-Fi connection will be very important during your trip, not just for communicating, but for using maps for directions and checking trains, bus, and ferry timetables, and possibly translating some Japanese. You should, of course, check with your carrier about possible international plans, but renting a portable Wi-Fi or purchasing a SIM card is also a great option. For most Wi-Fi and SIM card options, you should make your reservations no later than 1 month in advance. But some vendors do allow for express and last-minute reservations. Portable Wi-Fi and SIM cards were discussed in more detail in the Preparing for Japan presentation, but we have also linked a great video in the description box below. Here are a few optional activities that if you choose to do them, you will need to make reservations and/or pre-purchase tickets. These include special exhibits like the Ghibli Museum, theater performances like Kabuki or No, theme parks like Disney Sea, and reservations for in-demand restaurants. If you want to go to the Ghibli Museum, you will definitely want to make reservations ahead of time. No tickets are sold at the museum. Tickets go on sale from 10 a.m. Japan time on the 10th of each month for the following month. So for example, tickets for July 1st through July 31st go on sale on June 10th. Tickets are good only for the specified date and time of entry. They only sell enough tickets for 200 entrants per day, so tickets can sell out. Tickets for other attractions like Kabuki, No, and theme parks don't necessarily need to be pre-purchased, but sometimes it can be a huge time saver. If there is a special restaurant you would like to experience, I would check into making reservations. Some restaurants can be completely booked up a year in advance. Keep in mind that you may not be able to make restaurant reservations at some traditional restaurants without a Japanese phone number. If you want to make a reservation for a traditional restaurant, I would look into purchasing a SIM card that gives you a Japanese phone number. Whatever extra activities you choose, make sure you do your homework so you're not disappointed when you get to Japan. Lastly, let's discuss money and a few items related to traveling abroad. Currency exchanging can be done at many banks and in most airports, but in my experience, you can save both money and time by exchanging your money prior to departure. I would allow about 3 months for currency exchange, as the money has to be mailed to your bank from another location, as most banks don't have foreign currency on hand. This was also discussed in more detail in the Preparing for Japan video. Now let's discuss a few documents that you will need to have before taking this trip. Of course, you will need to have a passport. If you don't have a passport yet, I would get started ASAP. You will need to apply no less than 6 months out from your trip. If you already have a passport, make sure that it will be valid during the entirety of your trip and that you have blank pages left for stamps. Next, you might want to invest in travel insurance. With the uncertainties of COVID-19, you want to be prepared for anything. Travel insurance can give you peace of mind, whether you have to cancel your trip for some reason or get sick while abroad. Travel insurance can be purchased at any time, but I would do your homework to make sure that you have the right coverage for your needs. An article about travel insurance for Japan is linked in the description box below. One thing that we have found very helpful in the past is Global Entry and TSA PreCheck. Global Entry and TSA PreCheck both are similar in that they allow you to bypass some lines when traveling. If you are a first-time international traveler, Global Entry may be a big time saver at DFW. Global Entry is a shortcut through customs. For them to be able to give you this shortcut, you must first go through a background and security check and an in-person interview with Homeland Security. Because of this process, it is less likely that first-time travelers will get stuck in the customs interview process when returning to the United States. The fee for Global Entry also includes TSA PreCheck, which means a shorter line when you depart DFW. Just an FYI, Global Entry and TSA PreCheck only work in domestic airports. The TSA PreCheck application process can take about a week, while the Global Entry application process can take up to 6 months. Parking at or around DFW can be expensive, especially if you wait until the last minute. If you plan to drive yourself to the airport, research and reserve your parking spot prior to travel. If you plan to park at DFW, I would book your parking online, as discounts are given for prepaid parking. Since you usually have to put in flight information to book your parking, you can book your parking at any time after you've booked your flight. The last 2 items on our list of pre-purchases, travel gear and gifts, were already discussed in the Preparing for Japan video. The Preparing for Japan video is the first video in this series. If you haven't watched that one yet, I would watch it when you finish this video. The Preparing for Japan video contains information about luggage, walking, weather, packing, money, phone and Wi-Fi, flight, COVID-19, and more that you will need for your trip to Japan. This next group of items are not purchases, but they are things that you should be familiar with and will enhance your travel experience. There are a few travel apps that we recommend that you download and play with prior to the trip. Japan Travel by Navitime is like Google Maps for Japan. It includes many buses that are not included on Google Maps. If you are traveling in more remote areas of Japan, Japan Travel will save you a lot of headaches. Here's a quick comparison with Google. When researching our trip to Sado Island, I noticed that there was a bus from Naoetsu Station to Naoetsu Port, which was only 180 yen. But I haven't been able to find an actual timetable for that bus. So let's see if we can find one on Google. I'll start by entering Naoetsu Station to Naoetsu Port. If you look down as you type, you will see that Google can pre-fill the address for you. All you have to do is click. So it looks like Google is only showing a 23-minute walk or a 5-minute drive between Naoetsu Station and Naoetsu Port. So let's try it on Japan Travel by Navitime. Just an FYI, I am using the Japan Travel website so that I can record this direct comparison. Japan Travel does have an app and it's a lot more user-friendly than the website. I've entered Naoetsu Station to Naoetsu Port, and let's change this from leave now to a future time so that we will hopefully get a more accurate result. I'll change the Google search to match, so we should be getting the exact same results. Okay, Google is still just showing walking or driving as the only options, but as you can see, Japan Travel shows several transit options. There's the bus I was looking for at 927, which takes about 14 minutes and costs 180 yen. Japan Travel will also give you an estimate for a taxi. It shows that a taxi should take about 4 minutes and cost you about 900 yen. So you can see, if we had just gone by Google, we wouldn't have known that there was a bus available for this route. Another useful app is Pocket Sites. Pocket Sites is a GPS walking tour app. We will be loading all of the daily tours onto this app, and you can use them as a GPS guide map for all of the tours. This is a free service provided by Pocket Sites, and it allows you to insert your entire itinerary for the trip into the app. This will be especially helpful if you want to move forward in the itinerary or stay longer at a site, or if you just lose the group. It works the same as Google Maps, and that it shows you your location on the map and gives you directions to the next location. Next, you will want to become familiar with the airport and airline apps you will be using. I have found these apps to be very useful, especially when traveling to a new airport. One of the biggest lifesavers for me are the flight updates on airport and airline apps. This has saved me running across the airport several times when a gate has changed. They are also very nice when you are in an unfamiliar airport, as they can help you get to where you need to be. Even if the airport doesn't offer an app, check out their website to find out all the airport has to offer. The last suggestion I would like to make is for you to put your trip into Google Travel. Google Travel just combines everything in a really nice way. You can combine your trip destinations, searches for hotels and flights all in one place. This allows Google to give you suggestions for your trip. Notice that I've put our trip into Google Travel, and it gives me lots of destination information, including weather. Flight operations and COVID information are also available here. You will also have a tab for each of your destinations, which will allow you to do more research about each destination and save some favorite sites to research later. And of course, since Google is a search engine, they provide some of the most relevant questions that other people have asked about your destination. Another great feature offered by Google Travel is the flight tracker. You can put in the dates of your trip, and Google will email you every time the price of the flight changes. You can also use Google Flights to compare prices for your travel dates. This allows you to get a better picture of what a really fair price for your flight might be. Google Travel is a great free service which will hopefully help you to make the most of your trip. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. All videos and resources mentioned are linked in the description box below. See you at the first destination.